Hi, thank you for joining me in the garden today. Well, this is not the garden, this is actually just a field. My name is Christopher as always. I need to get that one in there. So today is actually not going to be about anything down here. This is just... I just need to show you one thing. Today is actually going to be about harvesting my tomatoes and my onions. Nothing fancy to it, I just want to bring you along while I grab it out of the soil. So first thing I just wanted to show you, this is actually, well, to your right, about 5 meters in, is the garden. And this is our garage, our lower garage. And this is actually our neighbor's, the farmer neighbor field. But he has graciously offered me to borrow a few meters from his property. So this is actually where the big greenhouse is going to be put in. I said that I was going to do it this summer, but something happened and I haven't been able to do it. But I'm gonna hopefully try to get the excavator down here as soon as possible and just get started. So, look at the view. It's just, it's gonna be so nice to have the big greenhouse here. The big greenhouse is probably going in this direction. So what I'm going to do is build a stone wall, a square stone wall at the end here, and I'm going to backfill with some mass because it's quite steep here, so it's going to be a lot of work, but yeah, that's what you need to figure out if you live in this kind of area. So let's just go into the garden and get it done because it's as you can see, it's raining today, and I don't really like the working outside in the rain, and the camera really doesn't like working outside in the rain. And harvesting in rain, well, that's something that you do one time and regret it, and you do it another time and think it was really stupid to do it another time. So yeah, okay, give me 2 seconds. So the forecast said that it's gonna rain within the hour, so we don't have too much time to do this. Yeah, you've probably seen this a few times if you follow my channel. This is the outside garden this year, and I haven't done anything to care for it. As you can see, everything is bolting and everything is going to seed, but I really don't mind that because I'm going to save seeds for most of these things. Oh, before we get started, this is the potatoes. We're gonna dig them up. I noticed that the soil is starting to puff up, so that's hopefully a good sign. And we're gonna do the onions also. But just take a look at this salad. I don't know what the name for it is, but it's just doing phenomenally. I'm gonna see if I can break off one. Just take a look at this. It's just so beautiful, and it's really, really nice. It has, well, it's not bolting all the way, but it's starting to grow taller now. But just take a look at these leaves. They are just fantastic. And we've been eating a little bit of this. For my taste, this is not the perfect salad because I like a salad that really, really gives out some flavor. This one is, it's kind of mild, so I would prefer arugula and bok choy and other things that are actually more on the tasty or on the stronger side. But anyway, this is just nice. I wish I had some chickens. It's gonna be compost, so don't hate me for this. Let's just start digging out some stuff. I really want to start with the onions because I'm super excited about this. This is actually my first year growing onions, so don't judge me. Well, I had onions last year, but it was nothing compared to this. So let's just, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit and we can see if we can dig out some onions. This is my onion bed. I have Charlottes and I have some other varieties of onions. The Charlottes are bunching onions, so they grow in cluster. And these ones are single onions. I have yellow and I have red Italian and I have, I don't know, some whites. I'm not sure. So normally you would harvest onions once they start to die off. But here in Norway, it's not always the case that you have to wait for things to die off, because sometimes it just doesn't die off. The seasons are too short, and it's not the scalding heat in the summertime, and it's very, very moist. We have had rain for quite some time now, and my only concern is that things are starting to rot, because when you get into autumn like now, we have a forecast for 10 days that says rain. So it's about time to get these onions out of the soil, because I'm afraid they're gonna rot. And of course, once you get frost, it's not gonna be good. So let's just see what we have here. They're decent. I have to say they're really decent. Let me just take a couple more just to see if we can get some standards here. These are actually nice. I don't know how good you can see them, but they are these small bunching onions, and they grow in clusters like this. So it starts with a set in the middle, a set onion, and it grows like this. So yeah, and they're really, really tasty. I love these. They're mild, and they have yeah, just a really, really mild. Wow, these are nice. I'm so happy with this, and my whole family just loves these onions. They've been growing here in compost and regular potting soil, and of course it's mixed in with the ground soil. And I also don't have anything underneath this bed, so the roots will go and dig deep down into the original soil here. Wow, look at these. This is just some fantastic onions. These don't grow very large, so I'm not expecting large onions from these. The other ones, they should be a little bit larger, but yeah, it's the first year I'm growing those kind of onions, so I'm not expecting too much. But yeah, let me just clean out these ones and go to the next one. Moving on to the Italian red. I did a little bit of experimenting this year, because I wanted to see how deep to plant the onions. So, but I just did it crazy on both sides. I planted, because these are all sets. These are small onions that I put in the soil, and they grow up from that. And I wanted to see how they would fare if the set was just put on top of the soil, or if it's planted deep. So what I've been doing is planting everything deep, but one onion from each variety I just stuck the tip or the bottom of the onion, like if you take this for example. So what I did was, most of them I planted like this, but one from each I just planted like this, and I wanted to see how they would grow on top of the soil. And as it turns out, well, they don't grow very large. So these are the ones that were on top of the soil, and they don't grow large at all. They're still edible, but they don't grow large. Now, compared to these red onions, wow, this is just beautiful. I'm gonna rinse this off later, but yeah, this is the comparison. And this is, yeah, the same for all varieties. Everything that was growing on top of the soil was a little bit smaller, but yeah, so I'm definitely gonna put my onions a little bit deeper the next season. But as you can see, these are not humongous onions. They probably should be 4 times this size. Now, this one I'm really satisfied with, because this is the size that I'm hoping for. This one also is just perfect. Oh, this one is actually split. So this one has split open, and I have no idea why, but if I were to guess, I would say that this one was soaking in a little bit too much water this summer, and it just cracked open. But it's still a good onion. And also, one thing that I noticed, the ones that actually went to flower, a few did here, 3, 4, 5 of these, they don't grow large at all. And that's probably because they're using a lot of the energy into putting out a flower stalk. Hi! And he wants to join in once again. So you just have to have something on hand to throw and he will go away. I also have some onions right over there that I did plant from seeds, but they're not nearly close to finish, so yeah, I'm just gonna see how far I can take them, and I'm gonna harvest them later. But they were seeded way too late because I would like to get my onion seeds in January or something like that. But these ones, they went in, I think in March or something, March or April. So I didn't have high hopes for them. But some of these actually seem to produce bulbs now, so yeah. We're getting into one onion that is yellow, I don't know. But these ones are the white ones. Some of these are planted too tight, but wow. Wow, this is some nice onions. Oh, and they smell so good. I just love onions. I just love onions. These are, I haven't grown these before, and I really wasn't paying attention to what type of onion I was getting. I just bought some set onions. Wow, look at this. This is just gorgeous. And I wasn't paying attention to the label, but wow, look at this. Isn't that just amazing? Yeah, these ones are looking the best for now because the red ones, they didn't do too well. But these ones are actually thriving. I don't know how big they're supposed to be, so I don't know what to compare them to. But for me, these are decent sized onions. People growing onions around here, they don't seem to have onions that are much more larger than, for example, this. So yeah, I'm satisfied with this. Now we're getting to the last onion. Hi! And the dog is back. So let's just throw him away. Wow! These are yellow onions. So they're probably like the regular onions that you would buy at store. Boy, these are nice. Look at these. Yeah, well, in my mind, these are perfect onions. Just take a look at these. I'm gonna peel one just for fun. It's probably going into the dinner tonight anyway. Take a look at this. Wow. This, yeah. Hey, grab onion. So I'm really satisfied with these ones. Now, as I said, this is my first year growing onions, and I always thought that I would like to grow things that I could see the progression of from day to day, like peppers and tomatoes and things that are growing above ground. But I really have to say, this is like fishing. You never know what you get, and you've been waiting the whole season for it, and sometimes it's it's just a crapshoot any year, but sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But the times that it actually works out, it's just a phenomenal feeling to go down and pick some fresh produce that are actually looking this nice. Now I know I'm rambling on, but I'm really excited about this because, as I said, onions are probably amongst my favorite things to eat from the garden. So this is a good day. So the last thing that I want to show you on the onions is that I put in some garlic. Now I put it in at the start of the season, but we really should get the onions in ground in the autumn. And they really require a lot of direct sunlight, and This is not the best spot, and it's been shaded a little bit about everything here, and especially these large onions, because they've been just wilting over the garlic. So I just wanted to pick one, the one that looks most promising, and see what we get. And I don't have high hopes at all from this, but it probably should be starting to form a bulb. Yeah. Now this is a sad thing. But still, it's a garlic, so yeah. Oh, that smells good. I'm actually going to plant the garlic for next year. I could leave these ones inside the bed for the whole winter and they would probably come back, but this bed is gonna stay mainly, well, it's gonna be completely filled with my strawberries. So I'm gonna put in strawberries the whole bed next summer, and the onions are going way over there where there's more sunlight, and I can plant them in the autumn time and everything. So that's gonna be exciting. Let's pick some potatoes. And as with the onions, you're supposed to wait until the plants die back, but there's no time, and I don't want to get the frost in on these ones. So that's not a whole lot of potatoes. Oh, I see potatoes. I'm just gonna get the plants out of the way first. These ones are, wow. These ones are going into the compost pile, and they're gonna be potatoes again next year. Hopefully. Looks like peanuts. But they probably could stay in the soil for another week or two, probably. But because of the rain that is coming, I don't want to risk ruining everything. So, and I hate to dig in the soil when it's wet. So I can see there's a few tomatoes here, not too much, but hopefully there's a little bit. Wow. Now once again, this is like fishing. You never know what's at the end of the line. And one for the dog. Now that's important. So I'm just gonna place the potatoes here. Oh, wow. Look at these. Wow. These are some big potatoes. Now, please? I'm sorry about the dog. It's just something that I have to deal with, and I love it. So, but anyway, this is a big tomato. Well, it's not. It's a potato. Wow, these are just huge. I don't know how I managed to get these kind of potatoes. These are actually way bigger than I would ever imagine. And there's a ton of them in here. I don't know how deep they go, but something tells me they're a little bit deep down in here. Now, it's not too many potatoes I can see, but then again, we really don't eat that much potato. I just wanted to grow it this year because I wanted to see how well I could produce potatoes. And I'm probably gonna give away most of these. But they look really, really, really nice. Wow, just take a look at a few of these. They're the size of my hand. I'm just gonna dig out the rest and I'll show you what the harvest looks like. And here's the end result. I really have to say that I'm overwhelmed with this. It's not too many potatoes, but it's, look at the size. These are, and there's so many large ones. Now, I would imagine that potatoes normally would grow like this. This is the potato that I know. But these ones are just enormous potatoes. These are going to be baked potatoes. and that's probably what I planted. I didn't know. I didn't look at the label once again. I just thought, well, potatoes, they're potatoes, and let's put them in the soil. So I'm satisfied with this. This is all that I got from this raised bed. It's not that large, so I would say getting so many potatoes from just this bed is just a phenomenal feat for me. And I didn't water it once. This is actually, I just stuck potatoes into the soil. I just used some regular soil and just mixed it with my compost that I made from food scraps all winter, and it looks like it's just phenomenal. So these potatoes didn't get water at all, and look at what they did. So I would probably have to say that growing potatoes is the easiest thing that you could ever do. Now, I don't know how these work in warmer climates, but definitely down or up here in the mountain regions of Norway, this is just a perfect thing to grow. Wow. This just blows my mind. I just love this harvest. I got my onions and I got my potatoes, my taters, and they look like there's probably 4 dinners in in each of the potatoes. These are phenomenally big, and they really took me by surprise. I was expecting normal sized potatoes, but these humongous monsters just came out of the soil, and yeah, you were there to see it with me, so that was fun. I just want to ask you again another question, but this time I really want you to answer, because I'm not putting up videos too often. I'm gonna try to do my best to move more content often, but it's just hard to figure out what to film, and I just want to make something that is actually worth watching. So, but I was thinking of doing a segment, or doing a kind of a side program to my regular programming. My regular programming will be about what I do here, some DIY projects, and it will be mainly gardening, and it will be the indoor gardening, and yeah, gardening all year round. So that's gonna stay that way, and I don't want to mix too much into that. But sometimes I would like to cook something, or sometimes I would like to can peppers or preserve tomatoes, or do something with everything that I grow here. And also sometimes I would like to taste something from the garden and see if this is something that it's worth growing again, or if it's something that is just nice looking and it doesn't really have the taste. So I'm thinking about doing a separate show in the show where I do something like a Tasty Tuesday, or something where I can, if I have content, I could upload a video on Tuesdays or Thursdays, or something like that, to just get it into a schedule. I'm not going to do it every week, so don't expect that, but I'm thinking of doing it, yeah, at least when there's harvesting times and when there's times to do preparation for this and that. So I was thinking of doing that kind of a show, and on that show I could do either a taste test of something, or I could throw something to the dog, or I could taste a pepper, or I could cook something with my tomatoes, or do something with the onions, or yeah, all those kind of things, because I have a shishito recipe that I really need to get out there, and I don't want it conflicting with the regular thing that I'm doing here, and I don't know what you guys actually, I don't know, when you sat down to your computer or your iPad or your whatever today, what was the kind of show that you were expecting from me? And it's important for me to continue to make stuff that you as a viewer would like to see more of, and that's why I'm really asking for your opinion on this. I don't want to make something that is not worth watching, and it's not something that you came here to see. So, but if this is something that you would like me to take a try at, I would love to do that, because I have some ideas. And please let me know in the comment section below if this is something that you want me to do, or if it's something that I should stay the heck away from. So yeah, I really value your input, and I'm here to do programming that is fun for me to make and fun for you to watch. So I vent my ideas and you respond back to me what you think about those. That's what I'm gonna leave this episode. This was actually one of the most, this is the most fun thing to do in the garden. That hands down, harvesting day is always gonna be the most exciting day. So I'm gonna leave you with this. This is Christopher saying may the force be with you, and I'm probably gonna see you in not too long this time. Okay, bye. Oh boy.